Hi everyone. Thank you very much. I always appreciate you. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome once again to another classic movie review. This is my review of the 1989 Patrick Swayze classic Roadhouse from director Rowdy Harrington, also starring Sam Elliott. You got Kelly Lynch and Ben Gazzara. By now, 1989's Roadhouse has become a cult classic due to its fan following through the years of being just pure entertainment due to the big explosions in the film and the fun fights. And of course, you got Patrick Swayze as one of the all-time great screen badasses in this movie as the character of Dalton. In the film, Patrick Swayze's character Dalton has a reputation of being the best cooler in the bouncer business, which is why a guy named Tillman approaches Dalton at the beginning of the film to see if he'll come work for him and help clean up his bar known as the Double Deuce. Patrick Swayze's coolness and charisma are on full display here as the character of Dalton, a guy that all the ladies want to get with and all the guys pretty much want to be. So cool whenever he's just standing around just watching and observing other people and what they're doing and picking up on things, trying to figure everybody out, and of course uses all of that to his advantage later on when he's giving his little speech to everybody when he announces that he is the new cooler at the Double Deuce. That scene where Swayze's character Dalton is talking to the bouncers for the first time, letting them know how things are going to be ran at the Double Deuce from that point on and how he plans on running things is definitely one of the best scenes in the entire movie. And everybody isn't all that on board in terms of like his new plan on how to run things, especially those that had to be let go. And it's very cool how the movie shows how prepared the Dalton character is, keeping spare tires in his car, and just anticipating like the backlash from his new decisions on how he's going to run the club because not everybody's a fan. Because he is new in town, Dalton does need a place to stay, and so he ends up finding a room for rent from this very old, nice farmer guy known as Emmett. And I enjoy the scenes between Dalton and Emmett. I really like how they kind of just bullshit with each other, and there's a nice little friendship there that I enjoy. And coincidentally and very conveniently, Emmett just happens to live right across the way, across the lake from the main villain of the film. The head bad guy of this movie, the character of Brad Wesley, seems like he's having a lot of fun just being an asshole all throughout this movie to everybody in town. And the actor that plays the character, Ben Gazzara, feels like he's having a total blast as you watch him play this character. And this is a guy that's basically like the town bully because he's an older guy with money, has a lot of people under his thumb. There's a scene in the movie where a local businessman who owns a car dealership who refuses to give in to Wesley's extortion threats actually stands up to him, pays the ultimate price by having a monster truck driven right through his business, ruining a bunch of cars and his establishment. And in any other movie, that scene might feel kind of over the top, but funny enough, kind of fits for this movie, which is generally over the top all throughout the film. Throughout the film, there are plenty of bar fights and brawls as Dalton cleans up the Double Deuce and weeds out the bad element. And then all the good folks that just want to have a good time and dance end up showing up more and more. And of course, Wesley has to ruin things by sending in his goons over and over again to kind of take them down a notch and mess up the Double Deuce over and over again. And he meets this woman, a doctor, in the process since he does get kind of messed up every now and then. This one time he gets sliced up by this guy, and so Dalton goes to the doctor's office and even brings his like medical reports with him because it's like routine for him at this point. And it's a very fun scene when he meets the doctor played by Kelly Lynch, and of course they become romantic with each other. There are a couple of very steamy scenes in this movie with Patrick Swayze and Kelly Lynch's character, the hot scenes as I call them. And you do see plenty of boobs in this movie, plenty of nudity, so if you're into that kind of thing, yay. And if you like to see Patrick Swayze's butt, you get that too because, yeah, it's on display here. And if you're a fan of Sam Elliott, he is the man in this movie as Wade Garrett, who is basically like a fellow bouncer and kind of an old friend of Dalton. And when he comes into the movie just gets better. There are many actors in small parts in this movie, mainly in the bar scenes, where a lot of the line delivery just feels very bad, at times kind of awkward, unexpectedly and unintentionally funny. And there's also the thing with the bad guy, the main bad guy, where he gets away with so much, it's just not believable. All the things that he does to these people in this town, all the horrible things that never once does anybody call the cops. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This guy should have been locked up halfway through the movie. And then you get to the end scene where, the big confrontation where Swayze is at the bad guy's house, taking out bad guys one at a time. And there's a scene with this stuffed polar bear. He's behind the polar bear, obviously, because the polar bear is moving down like it's gonna fall on this one guy with a gun who's trying to shoot at Swayze's character. The guy could easily walk around or look down to see Swayze behind the polar bear, but no, he just keeps looking at the bear as it slowly falls towards him. He could have moved out the way. You got a badass hero in this movie. You got a bad guy that you love to hate. You got a very fun musical score from Michael Kamen, who scored movies like Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, Last Action Hero, X-Men. And overall, I do think that stuff kind of tips the scales for me from a 2.5 star guilty pleasure movie to barely 3 stars, barely. It's kind of almost borderline 2.5, 3 stars, but kind of depends on your overall experience. And even though, yeah, there are little bits of dumbness here and there, this movie still kicks ass. It's still a joy to watch. Watch this movie and then go and check out the remake on Amazon Prime that stars Jake Gyllenhaal that came out earlier this year, which got a lot of hate from people, which I think grew up with the original and just overall favor the original because of sentimental reasons and all that attachment that comes from like childhood. But if you just take both movies and put them aside and look at them individually, the new film from director Doug Liman, it's just a better shot movie. The fight scenes have more of a punch to them. You know, great sound design throughout that movie. Jake Gyllenhaal really does the character of Dalton justice, and overall, I think it's a very fun remake that is worthy of the original. However, if anyone has anything to say about that in rebuttal to my comments on the remake, you want to put your thoughts down in the comment section. I'm sure that there are plenty of pissed off people that didn't like what I had to say, and if you want to come at me, go ahead. That's what the comment section is for. Anyone out there that knows me knows I'm a physical media kind of guy, so you know I'm going to have my copy of this film right here. I have the DVD, 1989's Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze as Dalton is one of the all-time great 1980s action badasses, and definitely worth checking out if you're into old school action. If you're into 1980s action cheese, definitely give this one a go. One of the most rewatchable 1980s action classics out there, so check it out. You won't regret it. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate you. If you're into the classics, if you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, and new to the channel, hit the bell, become a subscriber. Please don't forget to comment, share, like. I always appreciate that kind of thing. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you very much for your support. I very much appreciate it. Everybody take care of each other. Peace out. Till next time. God bless.